The docking clamps locked onto the shuttle with a jolt. My seat restraints disengaged, and I slung my duffel bag over my shoulder. The moment I stepped out, the hot, dry air of Rygel hit me like a wall. Even inside the base's atmospheric shielding, the desert heat found its way into every breath. "Lieutenant Marcus Hale," a voice called. I turned to see a wiry officer in gray fatigues, his face lined with exhaustion. His badge read Commander Jarek. "That's me," I said, giving a salute. "Welcome to Rygel Outpost. You'll find this isn't like the core worlds. Supplies are thin, tempers thinner. But we get by." "I was told I'd be working engineering detail," I said. Jarek gave me a tired smile. "Oh, you'll be doing more than that. This outpost's running on duct tape and prayers. We need every able hand." He motioned me to follow. As we passed through the metallic corridors, I noticed the signs of wear everywhere. Flickering lights, patched bulkheads, air recyclers humming unevenly. Rygel wasn't a shining example of the Union fleet's might. It was a forgotten frontier station, holding the line against both the desert and the unknown. Then came the surprise. We reached a sealed chamber, guarded by 2 security officers. Jarek keyed in a code and the doors slid open. Inside stood her. She was slender, almost my height, with skin that shimmered faintly like moonlight caught on water. Her eyes, impossibly large and silver, regarded me without blinking. Her hair wasn't hair at all. It flowed in tendrils, shifting as if alive. "This is Kira," Jarek said flatly. "She'll be your assigned partner." Blink. "Partner. She's not human." "Sharp observation," Jarek muttered. "She's Chiron. Refugee, translator, scout, we're still figuring it out. The brass decided every new officer here gets paired with a Chiron. Helps us build bonds. Consider it policy." Kira tilted her head. "Are you displeased?" Her voice was soft, melodic, like wind chimes struck by a gentle breeze. I hesitated. "No, just surprised." "You'll get used to surprises here," Jarek said. "Dismissed, Lieutenant. She'll show you your quarters." Middle. Uneasy partnership. My quarters were barely larger than a storage closet. Bunk bed, desk, 1 storage trunk. Kira followed silently, her silver eyes scanning everything with quiet intensity. "You don't talk much," I said as I set my bag down. "I listen," she replied. "It is better until I understand you." That first week, I learned quickly that Kira was unlike any partner I'd ever had. She moved gracefully with precision, but she also had strange habits. Tilting her head at air vents as though hearing something beyond my range, pausing mid-task to whisper in a language I didn't know. At night, instead of sleeping, she sat cross-legged on the floor, tendrils of her hair faintly glowing. One evening, while I worked on recalibrating a power relay, she suddenly spoke. "You dislike this place." I glanced up. "You can tell." She nodded. "You look at the walls as if they are a prison. But you are not trapped. You are lost." Her words hit harder than I expected. She wasn't wrong. After years of service, I'd been shuffled out here. Far from home, far from anyone I cared about. "Why are you here?" I asked. Kira's gaze darkened. "My world was destroyed. By your enemies. And mine. The Union gave us shelter, but here we are tools." Sign. Measured. There was no bitterness in her tone, just quiet acceptance. Over time we fell into rhythm. She anticipated my movements in engineering tasks, handing me tools before I asked. She seemed to sense when machinery was on the verge of failing, pointing out cracks I hadn't seen. And when the desert storms raged outside the shielded walls, she would hum softly, songs that eased the tension in the air. Still, trust came slowly. The rest of the crew regarded the Chiron with suspicion. Whispers followed Kira whenever we walked through the mess hall. Some humans refused to sit near her. I hated to admit it, but at times I wondered, was she truly my partner, or was she watching us for some hidden purpose? The answer came sooner than I expected. The crisis. Shadows in the desert. It happened during a routine patrol outside the outpost. The desert stretched endless beneath the twin suns, and our armored transport rumbled over the dunes. I manned the scanner, Kira sitting beside me. Movement, I muttered, adjusting the screen. Could be sand serpents. Kira's tendrils stiffened. Not serpents. Hunters. Before I could ask, the transport shuddered violently. A blast rocked the side, tearing into the armor. Through the viewport I saw them. Figures moving with terrifying speed, cloaked in shifting camouflage. Not beast. Not human. Raiders. The driver shouted. Ambush! Weapons fire erupted. The raiders swarmed us with energy rifles that spat arcs of green plasma. Our transport rocked again, alarms blaring. Marcus! Kira cried, pulling me down just as a blast ripped through where I'd been standing. The next moments blurred. Gunfire, shouts, the acrid stench of burning metal. Then silence. When I came to, the transport was overturned, smoke rising from its shattered hull. Most of the squad was down. Only Kira and I had survived the initial assault. Shapes moved in the storm. The raiders were closing in. We can't fight them all, I said hoarsely, gripping my sidearm. Kira's silver eyes glowed faintly. There is another way. Before I could stop her, she stepped into the open, raising her hands. Her tendrils spread, shimmering with pulses of light. The raiders halted, weapons trained on her. Then, impossibly, they lowered them. They are Chiron too, she whispered, voice shaking. Not my tribe, but my kind. I can speak to them. The realization stunned me. The enemy wasn't alien monsters. They were Kira's people, fractured remnants who had chosen raiding over cooperation. Kira spoke in her lilting tongue, her voice carrying through the storm. The raiders responded harshly, some raising weapons again. I tensed, ready to fire, but Kira held up a hand. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, the raiders melted back into the storm, vanishing as quickly as they'd appeared. Kira collapsed to her knees, trembling. They will not attack for now. But they know this outpost exists. Climax. The siege of Rygel. The warning came true days later. At dawn, alarms blared across the outpost. The raiders had returned, this time in force. Explosions lit the desert horizon. Raiders surged against the shield wall, their weapons hammering the defenses. Rygel shook with every impact. I rushed to engineering, Kira at my side. Power relays overloaded, shield generators sputtered. If the defenses fell, the outpost would be slaughtered. Too much strain, I muttered, frantically rerouting power. We can't hold. Kira placed her hand on the console. Her eyes blazed with silver light. There is a resonance. Can stabilize it. But I must connect directly. What happens if you're wrong? Yes. She met my gaze steadily. Then both I and this base will burn. There was no time to argue. He nodded. Do it. Kira's tendrils extended, merging with the energy conduits. Her body arched, glowing brighter and brighter as the generators roared back to life. Shields flared, stronger than before, deflecting the raiders' barrage. Through the viewport, I saw the attackers falter. Their weapons failed to break through. Finally, after hours of futile assault, They retreated into the desert, leaving only silence and smoke behind.